All right, welcome back to the Buddy Show. We are live once again, or being recorded, I should say. I'm live, but you're not seeing me live because I've already recorded it, which I am doing now. A little bit of a time conundrum. Um, at the beautiful city of Chiang Mai, Thailand, where I still live and will be living for quite some time, I thought I'd do a little year in review. And normally, I think the year I'm going to pick is 2022. Although I could easily pick 1492 or 1627 or any other year, but let's just stick to the normal stream of things. So I started out, let me see if I can fix this just a little bit. Oh, look, this stool on the wall. I started out 2022 in the Piedmont of New Hampshire, in the foothills of the White Mountains of New Hampshire. And I had lived there for 6 months or so. I got there in July, I think, late July, middle July, early July. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, and uh, and stayed with friends, and it was a very nice time. Lots of dogs, lots and lots of dogs, because Sherry, well, the woman of the house, and was a dog rescue lady. I think she even has a website, Dog Rescue Lady. And so there's a lot of puppies, a lot of dogs, a lot of noise, a lot of poop. Um, but then winter came, and I have two hip replacements. So being unsteady on my feet was an uncomfortable feeling. It's really why I left the United States in the first place, because living in winter, I was tired of it. Don't want it anymore. This is winter here in Thailand, and the weather is beautiful. It's nice and dry, and it gets cool at night in the morning. Not to me, because I lived in winter. And then in February, I think, my daughter said, "Hey, Dad, why don't you come to California and stay here for a week and visit me and Max, who is her husband, and we'll pay for everything." And so, I mean, I would have paid for it myself, but very much grateful to Max for doing so. Love him, love my daughter. And we had a great time. I was there for 6 days, staying in an Airbnb, which was an amazing amount of money in Santa something, California. I don't want to give out our whereabouts. It was a nice little place. There was issues, the electricity went out, not because of any power thing, but I mean power in the building, but not because of storms or anything. And the guy tried to blame it on me, and so I wrote to Airbnb. I said, "No, this guy's a jackass, and so refund my money." And he and I came to an agreement, and he refunded part of the money, and that was good enough. I didn't want to, break the rice bowl for him, but don't try to blame your tenant when it's clearly your fault. But anyway, we had a real nice time. Ate a lot of great food, and before I left New Hampshire, I was thinking, well, I'm ready to leave the United States again, so I think I'll use this occasion to jump off, and stayed in California, so I said, for 6 days. Then took it. Where did I leave out of? I must have left out of SFO. Yeah, I did, because I was right there. And I got to Mexico City, and I'd say stop me if you heard this story, but you can't, so you're captured. And I was going to go to San Juan del Sur, Nicaragua, a small little Pacific beach community in Nicaragua. And got to Mexico City and could not get there. I think I had the wrong PCR test, or anyway, something went afoul, and the government of Nicaragua said, "No, son, you're not coming here." So there I was in the airport in Mexico City, and now I know I've told this story, some of it before, and talked somehow, I think, emailed my friend Paulette and Mark, and they offered me a place to stay till I could find a permanent place to stay in San Luis Potosi in central Mexico. I loved it there, and it was a very nice place. I liked it much better than when I lived in Guadalajara. It's smaller. I literally saw, other than my 5 friends, I literally saw no white people. It was all Mexican. So it made it really strange when I started traveling again and seeing all these gringos is what we called them, what we were called in Mexico, but farang or falong here in Thailand. And did that, made that expensive, very long flight from LA, from San Francisco to Seoul, South Korea, where it was literally the middle of the night, early morning, and waited around for several hours till I could get a flight out to Saigon. I was in Saigon, Vietnam for 3 nights, and then I was in Bangkok for 3 more nights, and then I flew here to Chiang Mai, and so that's where I've been living now for the last 4 months. Let's see, I think so. August to September, October, November to December. Yeah, coming up on 5 months. And in the meantime, as I mentioned about the education visa, I was watching half-hour videos twice a week, or when I could get to it. That was great because I didn't have to go anywhere. It didn't cost me any money. And as it turns out, there was a lot of people didn't even do that. They just showed up at immigration when we're supposed to. And so then recently, the education ministry or somebody said, okay, no more online classes, you have to show up. So now I got to spend 200 baht round trip, which is, $6, to go to the school, which I have done one time. It's, as I mentioned, it's absolutely foolish. Tossing a knife under your legs and trying to learn how to shoot a Glock with your feet. It's just stupid stuff. And I'm hoping that we'll go back to the video because at least I can poke fun of it anonymously. I'm gonna get a retirement visa here. I just don't want to do it too soon because I paid a lot of money for this visa, and I want to get my money's worth out of that. And then probably a couple of months from now, I'll go visit a agent in Bangkok, which would give me an excuse to go back to Bangkok and eat. Let's see, I talked about the dating situation, and I've actually still been seeing the woman from the dating site, Yupin. I think she's come to grips with the fact that our relationship is what it is, that if she's going to spend 14 hours a day at her shop, then 7 days a week, then our time together is limited. But we've made the best of it so far. Who knows? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'm not terribly interested in cohabitating. I have no interest in cohabitating. Although she did put it forth, she said, well, we should rent a house. And so know what that really means is I should rent a house and let you stay there because you don't make any money. Now, I have friends who do this. They have girlfriends that live with them in the Philippines, and all well and good. And I thought that's what I wanted, and that's why Philippines was originally my destination, that and speaking English. But there's a lot of women here who are interested in older Western men and younger Western men, and so there's a lot of mixed couples here. So if that's your plan, then what I would do first of all, if you want to retire to to Thailand, I would not bother getting the education visa. I would come here for 45 days, and I know I've said this before. I would come here for 45 days, but I have new viewers, so they might have not watched all the old videos. I would come here for 45 days, contact an agent immediately. You'll have to get a bank account somehow. There are ways around it. Talk to the agent. You might have to get a letter from an embassy or from some financial organization here, but it can be done. 45 days with a 30-day extension, because it's going to take about 6 weeks to get a visa. But go right for the retirement visa. The cost is more or less the same. And if I have it correctly, and I believe that I do, you pay the company, the visa agent, their fee, and that doesn't recur, which it would have for me in Bali. That doesn't recur. Then you just go to immigration and file your extensions and do that again every year. Whether you'd have to, I don't know how they do it. I think they deposit 800,000 baht into your account for a short amount of time and then remove it, and immigration, I guess, lets that go by. I'll let you know when I do it. So that's about it. Again, the weather here is picture perfect. And oh, I know what I want, because I'm probably going to call this. I'm going to call it either annual update, yearly update, year in review, or I was going to call it All Alone at Christmas, because my friend Paul had a very poignant video about people being all alone at Christmas. I don't get lonely. I'm alone, and I'm seeing the woman every now and then. But I enjoy my own company. I'm a writer, so I have a whole world that I can live in, or several. I would advise that if you come anywhere, you retire anywhere, whether it's back in your home country or Southeast Asia or Latin America or Europe, Georgia or Albania, any place like that, get a hobby. You want to have something to do. You don't want to sit around in bars and drink all day. Maybe you do, but it's a short road to death from there. Death and despair. So, get a hobby, not just, 16-ounce curls. That's not a hobby. That's a death sentence. So, I enjoy drinking, but I don't drink during the day, and I don't hang out in bars because it's cheaper to drink at home. Watch Netflix. That's really, I think that was the point I wanted to make. I talked to my daughter about this, and before she met Max and got married, she was alone and didn't mind it at all. Some people, I don't get lonely. I like being alone. I like routine. I like sticking to my routine. I've just finished my first crime novella. It lacks 3,000 words of being an actual novel, but it's a good story, I think. And again, I don't plot, so I had no idea what was going to happen until it happened in the book. And so now I'm in between books. I'm getting a couple of things stirring in the old brain pan about what the second book's about, because I'm going to make money at this. I enjoy storytelling. I'm a damn good writer. And my writer friends say that I'm a damn good writer and that I could make a real decent living, like mid 5 figures in the beginning, and then up from there, double it. So that's it. If I have anything else, I'll try to do these more often. I've lapsed through the holidays, not for any reason, just because I was really wanting to finish that book. That was very exciting. And so it's called, I'm writing under a pen name. Pen name is Russell Lee. My given name is Buddy. Buddy was the nickname of my Uncle Russell, who died in World War II. Lee is my middle name. So Russell Lee, the first book is entitled Murder in Winter Hill. So it takes place in Somerville, Mass. Okay, that's it. I'm going to go now, and I'll talk to you later. Till then, where you are, you can probably do this easily. Stay frosty.